Hi guys, it's Jade for another daily tarot reading. How are you guys doing today? Oh gosh. I hope you're doing well. I'm feeling good today. All right, so let's see what we have. Let's see what Spirit has in store for us. Spirit guides are the highest truth and compassion. What is it that we can share with this beautiful collective of individuals today? I'm just gonna take a second. I'm noticing that there's a card, a random card in my deck. So they must have just gotten in there somehow. All right, I put on some focus oil and I'm ready to go. Spirit guides are the highest truth and compassion. I invite you in. What can we share with this beautiful collective today for their highest good? What is it that they need to know? What is it that they need to say? What is it that they need to do? Where is it they need to go? And who might they need to speak with today for their highest good? Thank you so much. So if you've been here before, then you know that the way that I do things is I draw a top card for your conscious mind, what's on your conscious mind, what you're thinking about in your waking life. There's a bottom card for your unconscious, what's in your sleep state mind. An overall energy card gives me a framework for what's being looked at. And then there's a card for advice. I've been pulling a couple cards for advice to give me a little more direction. The bottom of the deck today is the Tower. The Tower. And what is this? The Ace of Swords. Okay. I'm getting an energy of like, let me see here. I'm really drawn to these individuals here falling out of the tower today. And there's sweat coming down from this guy here. Sweat or possibly tears. And I'm kind of just getting like, oh no! Like this was an unexpected event that I was not prepared for. So it's possible, so with the bottom of the deck energy, the way that I read it is it's underlying the reading in some way, or it's energy that you're currently moving through. So it's very possible that something, and this looks like ice. I don't know why, I just got something chilling has happened, or unexpected events, unexpected news. I also am hearing cataclysmic, which is, and under it is the Ace of Swords. So somehow I'm getting that this change is going to provide clarity somewhere in your life. That's what I'm getting. In your conscious mind, I haven't even flipped these over yet. We have the Five of Pentacles, okay? So with this big change, you might be feeling kind of like the Five of Pentacles. You might be kind of feeling left out in the cold. You might be feeling like you're getting, like, what is it called? What is it called when people ice you out? Kind of a feeling like cold treat. What is that? It'll come to me eventually. Silent treatment. Whoa, that took a while. The silent treatment. You might be feeling like you're getting the silent treatment from someone. I feel kind of cold with this card. It's also possible that maybe you've gone a little cold. Like you're, are you feeling a little numb maybe right now? Is this big change that's happened really triggered? It was a cataclysmic event in some way where it triggered certain parts in you, like the internal family systems, like managers, protectors, firefighters that maybe have shut you down in some way to protect you. That's possible. Okay, so that's how we feel in our waking life is We're kind of struggling a little bit, hurting a little bit, but we're moving. These guys are moving here. And your unconscious, I have the Knight of Swords. Yeah, which goes with this. There's movement. It's just, maybe you don't feel so good right now. And with the Knight of Swords in your unconscious, I'm kind of getting just this need to move forward. Like the legs are really standing out to me, like really wanting to make strides in a certain direction. There's a feeling of really wanting to get out of a feeling of unsafety. That could look like a lot of different things for you guys. Not feeling safe, it could be physically. And if that's the case, I hope that you are reaching out for the resources that are available to you in your community, or calling 911, reaching out to a professional, an expert in the field of like mental health to assist you. But it could also be the other part of this. I don't feel like that's a big piece necessarily. It's more so like in your internal self, the feeling of safety. That could be triggered by people in your environment. For example, so with this move, I've been trying to find new counselors for myself, for my own mental health. And sometimes it takes time to establish good care. Not everyone is going to be the right person for you, the right fit for you. Sometimes it's an investment of time to try to find the right person so that you can move forward in the way that you want to. And I guess what I'm trying to say with that example is what am I trying to say with that example? Sorry, guys. I'm feeling just a little distracted today. I feel like what I'm trying to say with that is it's okay that not everyone's going to be the right fit for you. It's important to keep moving towards what you want and having that in your mind so that you can actualize that. And knowing what you don't want actually helps you to find what you do want, because then that way when you're interviewing someone for, let's say, a counselor position, or let's say anything in your life that you might need, if you own a business and you're interviewing someone, if you're trying to hire assistants for your home or your child care, you're gonna know then, okay, well, these are the criteria that I absolutely do not want, and I know that these are triggered by X usually when this happens. And so then you can take that information with you to find what you do need. And so I guess in your unconscious, I'm getting that you're wanting to make progress, and your overall energy is the 7 of Cups, which is having a lot of different roads you can take, having a lot of different options. Sometimes I feel like today we are really kind of inundated with so many options. There's so many different ways we can spend our money, for example. There's so many different ways we can use our time, just with the technology that we have, and how we're really able to maximize our time these days by using technology, like using AI, for example, or using like a subscription service to help you with whatever it is that used to take up all of your time. So with this, I'm getting there's a lot of change. After this change, there's going to be some clarity. You're feeling cold. You're feeling left out right now. You're feeling like you're struggling in your waking life. In your unconscious, you really want to move toward progress. Move forward. You want to make strides. And your overall energy is having a lot of different options to choose from. So I'm going pull from Everyday Witch today as a clarification. Honestly, I was going somewhere with my example of trying to establish new care for myself. Oh, safety. I was talking about safety. So with safety, you know, I unfortunately have been interviewing some counselors that were just not a very good fit for a lot of reasons. One of the counselors was kind of telling me that I was wrong. I was kind of shaming me in a way, because my actions did not line up with their spiritual beliefs. And so with that, I said, bye-bye. Bye-bye. I usually look for a secular counselor and or spiritual, just spiritually aware, really. It does, but like with that, I mean, that triggered my sense of safety. I guess that was my example, was like, you know, if it doesn't necessarily have to be do or die safety, it can be more so your sense of internal safety, like the people that you hang out with or you are around. You know, if certain people are always pushing certain buttons of yours, and it makes you feel like small, and it makes you feel like you don't want to rise up into the person that you know you're supposed to be, then maybe it's time to maybe step away from that relationship and take a look at other relationships that are going to help build you up, not tear you down or make you small. So that was my example. It took a little bit. All right, let's see what we have for clarification. Interesting. We have, I'm just gonna flip these over here. The High Priestess and the Ten of Pentacles is at the bottom. Yeah, and with that I'm getting, you know the way. And in your conscious mind we have the Queen of Swords. Yeah, and with this I'm getting, defend yourself. That is actually what I'm getting here, which is interesting. That's a new message. Defend yourself. Maybe something happened that was not right, not fair, and there's a need to speak up. They're saying there's a need to speak up. In your unconscious, you have the Queen of Wands wanting to move forward and make progress. So that is interesting. So you have two queens. So that tells me that, you know, in some way, shape, or form, you are able to access your sovereignty, your personal power, I'm going to say somewhat easily. Like, it's something that you've had practice in, okay? So maybe this big change, it really was a shock to you, because it's not something that you deal with very often, because in your waking life, I feel like the energy I'm getting is like things are very much regulated, structured. There's a system for things. I'm seeing 111 on the time right now. There's a system for things. There's a proper, like I'm getting like a proper way to do things. Like you've kind of you've moved through life enough to know what you don't want, that you've been able to set up like safeguards to make the life that you do want, is kind of what I'm getting. So it is interesting that you have the Tower feeling the Five of Pentacles energy. I think this was a surprise to you. Feeling this way. And that's okay. We're all still learning. We're all learning, no matter how old we are, no matter how successful we are, however you define success. you have the tools at your disposal to get through this change. Okay, I feel called to say that you have the tools at your disposal to get through this change. I feel that you're a little tired. Just because of this card, the Queen looks tired. Like, oh my God. Like, do we have to do this? Do we have to do this again? Is kind of what I'm getting. But really wanting to move forward fast. Like it's not anything that you haven't seen before. And with this Queen of Swords, I'm actually getting, okay, I know I need to say something. I've just never really gone that way before. Like, I've never really gone down that road before. I'm not really sure how it's gonna go, but I'm not getting terrified vibes. I'm more so just getting like, there's something about this situation that has triggered your sense of safety. And if that resonates for you, write down in a journal, like, what part of you, like in the internal family systems, what part of you feels threatened right now? Some of the parts would be like, for example, I have like a really analytical part that like is very much regimented in certain ways, like a drill sergeant part. I have like, your parts could look very different. I have like an inner child part. I have, so basically whatever part of you is telling you in your head, what? Like, you know, is very much triggered, very much loud, very much saying, this is not okay with me. Like, or, oh my God, I have to do this because I don't feel safe. Like, maybe get to know that part. Like, what do they sound like? In your head, what do they sound like? Do they sound like someone else? Do they sound like you? Do they sound like a younger version of you? Around how old were they? Or how old does this part sound like? And I feel like once you identify that, I feel like this is going to come together. Like, you're going to be able to really kind of speak up for what you need. I think right now it's just shocking because maybe you've uncovered an exile and like in the parts, an exile or a part of you that you really, it's been pushed down for a good reason, because it was maybe rejected in your life some way, or it hurt, or you felt very hurt. You were triggered by something that made you feel hurt, and that part felt hurt. And so it has lied dormant inside of you. And so whatever has happened in your waking life that has triggered this sense of like almost this feeling of, I don't know how I'm going to move on. This is really, really intense, and this makes me feel uncomfortable feelings. You know, just, I would encourage you to, if you already have a counselor, talk to your counselor about it. And if you're just trying to uncover information for yourself, you know, take some deep breaths and write out what it is this part is saying to you, or what it is about this situation that's really triggering you at this time to make you feel unsafe. And then evaluate whether or not there is the threat, is the severity of the actual threat is kind of what I'm getting. But I'm always going to encourage you to talk to your counselor especially if it's in regards to exile parts, because that can be very intense. I recently moved through some of my own exile work when I moved, and I can tell you it's very intense. Sometimes there's a lot of crying that happens to move through the emotions. So I think I understand part of this message here. Something has come to light that created a kind of an upheaval. You're wanting, you know that you need to speak up about something, or you know you need to talk about something. Maybe you need to talk about something to kind of air out this shame feeling that you have. Like Brene Brown says, that shame grows in silence. And when we're able to talk to someone about something that we feel shame about, like a trusted person, someone who has earned the right to hear it, that's the antidote to the shame. So I'm just going to share that for you if that's helpful. The clarification, it's interesting, with the 7 of Cups was the 7 of Swords. So we have 2 sevens. The number 7 might mean something to you. You know, but with 7 today, usually I'm getting chance, like like not really sure where something's gonna go. And the overall energy with this I'm getting is kind of not really sure what to do, not sure where something's gonna go. Which is kind of what we've been talking about with the upheaval and kind of feeling a little bit insecure as in not as safe because of whatever happened in your waking life has triggered something inside of you that hasn't made you feel very good. And I think that there is a desire to understand why, I think. Because I think in your waking life, you spend most of your days very much in queen energy. And so to have something kind of, I just got rock you, is not really something you're used to, really comfortable with. And also you just have a genuine concern, like a genuine desire to understand what that is. So take that as it resonates. For your advice, okay, so the first card I see here is the World. We're closing out cycles. We've had maybe some better days. There's a lot we're processing. I wonder how these cards want to fall here. And there's a lot of emotion that's being processed. And this is the Ace of Swords. So, and there's clarity on the horizon is what I'm getting. I feel like they want to fall like this. There's a lot of work to be moved through. There's clarity on the horizon once we've moved through it. I was just gonna say, I always say in my readings that we mirror each other. What I'm going through in my waking life may be vastly different from the circumstances you have in your life. But the similarity or the through line might be the emotions that we feel, or the conflicts, the severity, the intensity of the conflicts that we may feel. And so definitely from this reading, I'm getting a sense of sudden change that has shifted your sense of security and or safety, whether it is externally or internally. And I can tell you that I recently went through something on my move very much in line with that. Like I just said, I when I was learning to play music again, I didn't know it, but I was uncovering an exile that I had in me from like 15, 16 years old, during a time where I was, when you're a teenager, you're learning a lot about life and you make a lot of mistakes. And I guess during that time, some of the mistakes that I had made, I hadn't really recovered or had gotten closure, like healthy closure around it. And so that exile kind of just stayed inside of me until, I'm 30 something. And it was triggered again. And I was kind of put in a very similar situation of, oh, this is not comfortable. This is not comfortable. I'm not really used to feeling like this anymore. What's going on, And so I've been really trying to find a good counselor in my new area, and I do have hope. I do have hope because I've been interviewing a couple. It's been a little rough, but I've been interviewing a couple, and I have a couple more to go. So I guess what I'm trying to say with all that is that you're not alone. You're not alone. You're never alone. We're going through this work together, and it's great to know that you are here with me, because it can feel lonely. It can feel lonely. I kind of feel like I want to pull a wisdom of the oracle today, and then we're going to wrap it up. Spirit guides of the highest truth and compassion, is there anything else that we can share with this beautiful collective of individuals today related to unexpected changes that have triggered unpleasant feelings, and learning from them, closing out cycles, and becoming more stable in our personal power? Is there anything we can share? Please and thank you. I just heard you're doing great. You're doing great. And I just gotta chill. This is really hard. You're doing great. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. Breathe. We got breathe. Breathe is all about patience and just taking a second. Just taking a second. I was gonna say too, self-compassion. You know, self-compassion. The other thing is gratitude. What are we grateful for? Patience, waiting, going slowly, wellness. Yeah, wellness. That's how it feels. Wellness. Like self-compassion, wellness, meditation, and trust. Patience in all things is called for right now. What do you need to do when you're in a rush? Slow down. Meditate and trust. Breathe and repeat. Humans cannot exist without drawing breath. Now is the time to allow the life-giving element of air to replenish your body, your being, and your very essence. Stop to smell the roses, breathe in the sunlight, and release the darkness, and miracles will appear. Excuse me. So, I'm right there with you. If you feel like you need a little something extra, I do have a sound bowl meditation on my YouTube channel that's actually all about activating your personal power. That may be helpful. There could be something there for you. The only other thing I'll say is, like, you know, breathing is even hard work too sometimes. Sometimes when we are just wanting to go, get it done, get to the next level, get to the next milestone, this can be sometimes the most difficult thing to practice. And so with that, because I'm getting a lot of resistance for some reason when I pull this card, and maybe it's because of my own personal resistance, because I feel very much go, and I wonder if you feel the same way, because we mirror each other in some way. Today, I had the opportunity to make a new bouquet. Boop. And with that, kind of without trying, I was able to access this wellness breathe card. You know, like just putting my hands, like having my hands with flowers and arranging, or like even like gardening, anything that's kind of tactile like that. Is there something that you can do just for a little bit to get you back into the present moment? You know, Eckhart Tolle says that the present moment is really all that matters. He says that the suffering that we have within ourselves comes from the fact that we're thinking too far out in the future, or we're thinking in the past. We're never thinking about right now. Do you resonate with that? I do. What can you do for yourself to get back into the present moment today? And I'm saying this for myself just as much as I am to you. I love you guys so much. I hope that you have a great rest of your week. Mwah! And I will see you in the next one. Bye.